Hey, Mark Meyer here. I am here with Craig Sirota, and we're going to do a quick 5 minutes talking about business intelligence, which to me is just a very generic, big picture term. If you just talk about that, that can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. So, Craig, if you're to define business intelligence or business insight, what is that?
Well, it's about getting at the data you want and helping you make better business decisions every day, every week, and not having to really look hard for it. This is kind of a quick summary. I know we're going to get into a little bit more detail, right?
Sure. So when you're talking about data, if I'm a manager at a business or if I'm an owner, I can imagine that there would be 5 or 6 bits of information that I want to have available to me, ideally at a click of a button type thing. Is that kind of what we're driving at, or?
Yeah, typically what we do is when we go out to talk with clients, whether it's CEO, owner, manager, sales manager, whatever, they're looking for 5 to 7 pieces of data. They're either doing it longhand, printing out 50-page reports, 100-page reports, looking through them. And what we want to do is ask them, hey, what are you looking for in that report? And just show them what they're looking for. And get it right to the forefront that they could drill down on instead of taking all this labor time, printing out all these reports, different sorts, different views or whatever, and just get it right to a dashboard for them so they can drill on it.
Well, not to state the obvious, but I mean, where does the data come from? When I think of every company's got some type of accounting system or ERP system, but you can have data here, you can have data here, data here. What are the challenges that you have to like actually pull that data, and where do you send it then? How does that actually happen for us non-technical people?
Yeah, all data is everywhere in most companies. They do have accounting, production, wherever. What we do is we usually find out what the target dashboard is, what the piece of information that they want to have, and then we go find out where it is, and then we data mine it. It's called data mining, where we pull that data, we centralize it, and we call it normalize it, so it comes into a standard format that we can roll it up and give them graphs, summary, executive roll-ups, things like that.
What are the kind of outputs that typically you see, or what are some of the examples of, I mean, is that coming up through like a website, or what are the different options for outputs for business intelligence?
There's quite a bit, but usually what we're finding is a website with dashboards, with graphs to drill down, maybe some summary reports. Excel is a real common one. We dump the data into Excel so people can further sort it, group it. If you know what pivot tables are, we use those a lot. And now with 2010 Power Pivot tables, you can do a lot more analysis and put gauges within Excel.
And I don't want to be too like elementary, but like when you say dashboards, you're not talking about the dashboard of a car.
Nah.
You're talking like something different, but I just want to make sure terminology, everybody understands what's a dashboard when you're defining it that way.
When we talked about 5 to 7 pieces of information, a dashboard is just like a gauge, a speedometer or whatever. You define is 50% okay, is 75% okay, but you put little graphs, and like I said, there's usually 5 to 7 of them on any web page or in Excel that summarize that data so you can visually see the summary roll-ups for yourself. But then we take it to the next level so you can drill down exceptions. So if there's something that sales are down in a division, you can click on it and find out a trend and really get down to the detail at a couple clicks.
So if a client were to say, yep, we need to get that, I've got managers all over the place that want information, they need help, what are the first steps that, whether they would work with a Pinnacle or some other company, what are the first steps of how do you actually start that process? What would they need to do?
Well, usually what we do is we meet with a couple of key people, find out where they are spending most of their time getting information they want, and find out where that data is. So we kind of do a discovery, and but with a couple key people and pilot it out, because then what we find is whether it's an owner or production manager, as we start pulling that data in, more people want access to that summary data, and we just further add more dashboards and more indicators.
So basically get a list of the key stakeholders, work with them, work through a discovery process, what are the reports that they would want, what are their databases that they have, where is all this information going to come from, whether it's a spreadsheet or their ERP system, and then kind of pull together an overall plan with that.
Yep.
Well, basically, don't be running your business blind, whatever you're doing. If you're not working with the information that you have, definitely want to take steps into make sure that your key people have the information that they need to make the best decisions that they have. So if you have other questions regarding business intelligence, we'd love to work with you, but definitely get with somebody on that.
And it's about saving labor and saving time.